so much uncertainty, and there's so many different voices you hear, and it gets confusing, even if you're trying to be super rational or trying to analyze everything. There's just so much. So let's start with just a general question of how bad are things right now? Do you think things are getting better? I mean, where are we kind of in the cycle of this thing?
Well, it depends on where you're sitting, because different parts of the country and different parts of the world are kind of having asynchronous outbreaks. It's not one big outbreak, it's many little outbreaks. And I think if you're looking at the United States, for example, I think we're over the worst of it, at least for this part of the outbreak. We really had our eyes on New York City, which was kind of the canary in the coal mine, where there really was a crisis on the verge of happening, where we were really worried that people might have to ration ventilators and that we would see lots of excess deaths. And New York City averted the worst of it. I can't say that it wasn't something that was pretty horrific for the doctors that work there. We know doctors have committed suicide there. This is something that everybody was watching and using that to try and understand what would happen in the rest of the country. And as New York City went through its peak and survived, you've seen a difference, kind of a sigh of relief in the rest of the country. And now you're starting to see this opening up, because much of what happened in the United States was premised on what happened in New York City. Worldwide, you're seeing cases occur again in places like Singapore and China, and somewhat in South Korea as well. And that's expected, because the virus didn't go anywhere. Like we said before, when I was on a long time ago, this was something that was already established in the human population. Without a vaccine, you're going to expect to see surges. We haven't seen a lot of cases in some of the developing world yet, at least reported cases. So people are very eager to see what happens in parts of sub-Saharan Africa and in India, for example, where they may have major issues with population density in some of those mega cities, as well as having really poor access to healthcare. And they know they've been hit disproportionately bad during 2009 H1N1. So that's something that we're still not over. So those countries, and this is going to go on for some time, we're going to be dealing with coronavirus until there's a vaccine. So I think probably for at least 2 more years, you're going to be hearing a lot about coronavirus and learning how to live with it, and trying to find the right balance of controlling the virus and keeping the economies functioning in the world.
What we need today, what I call the new intellectual, would be any man or woman who is willing to think. Meaning, any man or woman who knows that man's life must be guided by reason, by the intellect, not by feelings, wishes, whims, or mystic revelations. Any man or woman who values his life and who does not want to give in to today's cult of despair, cynicism, and impotence, and does not intend to give up the world to the dark ages and to the rule of the collectivist brute.
Using the super chat, and I noticed yesterday when I appealed for support for the show, many of you stepped forward and actually supported the show for the first time. So I'll do it again. Maybe we'll get some more today. If you like what you're hearing, if you appreciate what I'm doing, then I appreciate your support. Those of you who don't yet support the show, please take this opportunity. Go to yaronbrookshow.com/support, or go to subscribestar.com, Yaron Brooks Show, and make a kind of a monthly contribution to keep this going. I'm not sure when the next